What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
It is time for another Sawdust Diaries. And pardon the sound, we got the laser run in the background and the mess. We're in the middle of some projects for the tables.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this one is going to be kind of the theme of this is like, don't be afraid to change things up if you don't like the way something's coming out, or even after it's already done. We've got a couple situations where we're getting ready for the Vegas show. We've got a couple tables that we made early on. One is a fishing table and the other one is a hunt table. I don't think we did the fishing on camera, but the hunt table we definitely did. You guys probably saw us making it.
Yeah.
You're going to see it here in a minute.
And I'll leave a link for that whole video in the description below so you can go check it out to really get a good idea of what we're talking about.
So one of the things that we did early on when we were making the tables is figuring out how we're going to hold that glass, because we put 1/4-inch glass on almost all of our stuff, and how we're going to hold that 1/4-inch glass in place. One of the things that we did is we used these little angle aluminum and then we sprayed them black, and we actually used these in the corners to retain that glass, and that was okay.
It worked. I mean, it worked. It was all right.
But then as we've evolved and now we've made a bunch of tables, I kind of got to thinking about that, and I really don't like, I really was kind of getting away from that. We came up with better ways to hold the glass in place. So we took 2 tables that we're going to Vegas with, and we took these off and we're putting frames around them. And it's kind of a process. So here's that hunt table. So now if you go look at the video on this, this frame wasn't on there. This now is our frame on there that the glass is going to sit down on here, and then this is going to be the retainer for the glass rather than the metal pieces that we had in the corners.
Yeah.
So,
because they were just sitting on there, and we made them long enough to where they'd go against the table, and they would actually put the glass and the glass set flush right there.
yeah, so if you can imagine this frame not being on there, this was right on the edge of the table, and we put those in there, and then the glass, and this got a kind of a rubber padding on there, the glass sit right there. And it was okay, it was very functional, it wasn't like it was weak or anything like that. Aesthetically, it didn't look as nice to us as putting a frame on here. So we figured, since we're going to this big show and this Cowboy Christmas is a big deal for us, we really want to put our best products out there as much as we can. So that's why we decided to go ahead and take these metal things off and rip down some of the blue pine and miter it in the corners. You can see I've still got a lot of sanding to do on there.
Yeah, we did all the fill, but the sanding still needs to be done.
Right.
And then with the fishing table, which this is one you guys haven't seen because we didn't film this one, it was kind of the same thing. And this one was a little harder because we did it out of redwood. Sorry for the shadows on here, guys. But we made a frame with some ripped down 2x4s. Yeah. And you can see we still got to sand it and stuff, but I think it's going to look a lot better with this frame holding the glass in than just those angled metal pieces.
Yeah, and this one was a little bit different because we put a deep chamfer around the outside, and then that metal angle held on up above the surface, just like the other one, but with this deep chamfer on there, it was a little tricky to get this fastened on there because there wasn't near as much meat on there to fasten this thing on. And again, the fill is done, we just got to sand it off, but once it's done, then that glass will just fit in here and it'll be just flush with the surface of the frame on there.
So you know how, like, sometimes you'll make something, sorry, the lighting isn't great in here. Sometimes you'll make something, and when you're done with it, you're like, oh, that looks cool. But then a few months later, you go back and you're like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Kind of what we want to talk about is don't be afraid to change it. Especially like these haven't sold, we're taking them to the show, and we want to put our best foot forward. So, you know, don't be afraid to kind of change and adapt as you go along and as you get better at whatever you're making. And that's exactly what we're doing here, even though it's been kind of a pain. but I think it's going to turn out a lot better.
Yeah, so you know, if you've got a chance, as you evolve, as you get better and you come up with better processes and better ways to do things, we were lucky that these hadn't sold. We still had these here, and the first time people are going to see them, for the most part, other than our video, is this Cowboy Christmas. So why not take the few extra hours that's going to take to make them look that much better and just be a better product, because you know, all the other tables that we have didn't have those little metal corner pieces. Everything else has a frame on them, or they were free form and the glass was set in, you know, so different system than these little metal pieces. And it made sense for us to take the time and upgrade these, since we're taking them to Vegas in about, I don't know, a few days here.
Yeah, coming up pretty quick.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of today. Today's theme is just, you know, be flexible. And if you've got a chance to change something and make it a little bit better, even if the project is all done, but you haven't given it to your customer yet, or better yet, if it's something that you're using as a display, if you can upgrade it, and as you evolve, your skills get better, you can do something and make it look that much better, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Flies, what
I know.
the heck?
It's November. All these flies should be dead.
Yes.
All right, guys. So that's really it for today's video.
Yeah.
So adapt and overcome.
Yes. What is that?
That's a military.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah.
Heartbreak Ridge, Clint Eastwood.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh,
Great
dude,
movie.
you
I know.
haven't seen Heartbreak Ridge? Are
Just
you
the
kidding
clips
me?
you've shown me on YouTube.
Oh,
All right.
gosh.
Well, now that we're done filming, I'm going to go watch that movie.
I just can't believe my son hasn't seen Heartbreak Ridge. Dude. Anyway, you guys have all seen it, I'm sure. It's
All right.
awesome. If you haven't, go watch it.
All right, guys. Again, sorry for the lighting and the sound in here and the mess, because it is a disaster.
It's a shambles.
But
yes.
that's all right. It's a working man's shop. All right.
All right, that's it, guys. Thanks again for everything. If you have questions, as always, Eric at makeawwoodsign.com, Ryan at makeawwoodsign.com. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.